The pickleball tips in this video apply to any pickleball player, can be used by any pickleball player, but they're specifically designed for tennis players. So if you're a tennis player that wants to play better pickleball, the 3 tips in this video will help you out. The first tip I want to share with you has to do with your volley. And this is an area where I see tennis players make a lot of mistakes as pickleball players when they transition over. And it has to do with the shoulder turn that we do with the volley. Let me show you with the backhand volley. So a tennis volley would look a little bit like this. So you'd basically be bringing your leg forward, opening up like this, your racket like this in tennis, turning your shoulders and coming through the ball. In pickleball, you can't really do that because of the non-volley zone line. So you have to either stand off the line or have to come back a little bit. But even if you're up here and you're turning your shoulders a lot, what's happening is because of the close quarters of the battles that we have, turning your shoulders will cause you to be late and you'll be open to attack. What you want to do instead is you want to keep your shoulders square to the action, bring the paddle out to the point of contact, and then execute the volley from there. So instead of doing a lot of turning like this, what you want to do is you want to present your paddle, shoulder square, and finish your volley like this. I'm going to show you now 2 shots, one tennis style and one pickleball style. If we haven't met before, my name is Tony Roy. I'm a senior pro pickleball player as well as a master teaching professional. Specifically relevant to this video, I come from over 40 years of tennis, played from when I was a little boy all the way through USTA competitive pickleball. And so I know what it means to transition from tennis to pickleball. The third tip I'm going to show you in this video is a very powerful tip that you're going to want to use. It's a lot of times the reason why tennis players have a hard time advancing in pickleball because they approach the game from the incorrect framework. And in the third tip, I'm going to explain to you what that is. If you're enjoying this content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We have a lot of great content like this made just for you. These next 2 tips are a comparison of pickleball and tennis. The first one actually has to do with the court size, so it's fortunate we have these 2 courts next to each other. The second tip that I want to give you if you're transitioning from tennis to pickleball has to do with outballs. What happens is when you play tennis, you're used to playing on that court over there. That court over there is way bigger than this court over here. And so what happens is your brain is programmed to receive balls up here coming at you at the net and say, I must hit those balls because they're likely to land in. You have not yet adjusted to this size of a court where there's just less court to work with, meaning more balls are likely to what? Go out. So what you want to do is you want to work on understanding the court size and get your brain pre-programmed to the court of the sport that you're currently playing, i.e. pickleball. Let me show you 2 different approaches for dealing with a ball up at the shoulder. First, hitting it, and the second one, which is correct, which is just letting it go. The third tip I want to give you is the most powerful tip of all. Start thinking about pickleball like pickleball and tennis like tennis. Each one is a different game with different shots and different strategies. There is some overlap for sure. But if you're playing pickleball the same way that you play tennis, what you're going to do is you're going to limit your ability to grow as a player in this sport, in pickleball. What happens is the tennis players come over to pickleball and they just hit hard, just like they would on a tennis court. The same sort of shots. And that sort of approach in pickleball is not going to be conducive to long-term growth. The real reason why it's not that helpful long-term to have that approach is where I'm standing right now, this kitchen or non-volley zone. This zone of the court is absolutely critical to your development as a pickleball player, to your improvement as a pickleball player, and understanding that and starting to work with those types of shots will really help you improve your play. I'm going to show you 2 different scenarios now. One where I'm over there playing tennis on a pickleball court, and the second one where I'm playing pickleball on a pickleball court. If you start adding these 3 tips to your game, whether you're transitioning from tennis to pickleball or adding pickleball to your weekly repertoire, you will avoid a lot of the mistakes that tennis players make when they're out on the pickleball court. I'm going to link to some additional videos up here so you can continue watching, and make sure that you sign up for our email list. I'll put a link down here somewhere so that you can join our email list and get our weekly newsletter as well as all our weekly content. I'll see you in the next video.